Here's a reality check that might surprise Liverpool fans. Your club's most expensive signing ever could finally step foot on the Anfield pitch again. But there's a massive catch that nobody's talking about. The Reds are walking a dangerous tightrope with Alexander Isak's comeback story. Manager Arne Slot has just announced that the Swedish striker will rejoin Liverpool's matchday squad when they face Atletico Madrid in their Champions League opener. But here's where it gets controversial. Some fans are questioning whether rushing back a player worth £125 million after an injury-plagued start is genius strategy or reckless gambling. Let's break this down for those new to football transfers. When Liverpool shelled out that astronomical fee to pry Isak away from Newcastle United, they weren't just buying a player, they were making the biggest statement in British football history. But his summer move to Merseyside was anything but smooth, with a disrupted preseason that left him scrambling to reach match fitness. The club's medical team is being ultra-conservative with their prize asset, and frankly, they have every right to be paranoid. Here's what most people miss. Introducing a player too early after fitness issues doesn't just risk a minor setback. It could trigger a long-term injury that would turn that £125 million investment into the most expensive mistake in football history. But there's an interesting tactical element brewing that could change everything. UEFA's Champions League regulations permit teams to name 12 substitutes on their bench, compared to the Premier League's restrictive limit of just 9. This expanded squad size creates fascinating opportunities that domestic matches simply don't offer. This rule change means we could witness the return of not just Isak, but potentially several other players who've been hovering on the periphery. Giovanni Leone, the promising 18-year-old defender who cost Liverpool £26 million from Italian side Parma, might get another chance to showcase his talents. The youngster has experienced the ultimate football roller coaster, included in the squad for that thrilling 3-2 victory against Newcastle United, then mysteriously dropped for subsequent matches against Arsenal and Burnley. But here's the storyline that tugs at every Liverpool supporter's heartstrings. Jayden Danns could be making his squad return after nearly 9 months in the wilderness. This is where football's cruel reality becomes painfully apparent. Remember Dan's magical emergence during the 2023-24 season? The homegrown striker burst onto the scene like a shooting star during Liverpool's Carabao Cup final against Chelsea at Wembley Stadium. In just 33 minutes of playing time, he displayed the kind of fearless confidence that veteran players spend years trying to develop. Although he headed one glorious opportunity over the crossbar, his performance helped secure Jurgen Klopp's final trophy as Liverpool's manager. 3 days after that Wembley appearance, Danns delivered a performance that had fans dreaming of the future. Coming off the bench, he scored twice in a commanding 3-0 FA Cup victory over Southampton, a team that would later earn promotion to the Premier League. For those brief moments, it seemed like Liverpool had unearthed their next homegrown superstar. And this is the part most people miss about modern football's harsh realities. Talent means nothing if your body can't handle the physical demands. Injuries became Danns' nemesis, robbing him of momentum just when his career was gaining serious traction. A persistent back problem sidelined him for a significant portion of last season's first half. When he finally returned to score against Accrington Stanley in a 4-0 FA Cup triumph, it became clear that a loan move was necessary for his development. Sunderland emerged as his destination during January's transfer window, with the Championship club chasing promotion to the Premier League. But here's where football's unpredictability strikes again. Medical examinations reveal fitness concerns that prevented Danns from making even a single appearance for the Black Cats. Imagine the frustration, being so close to regular first-team football, only to have it snatched away by medical red flags. Liverpool's approach to Danns' recovery this summer demonstrates the delicate balance between ambition and caution in modern football medicine. Rather than risk further setbacks during the demanding preseason tour of Asia, the club kept him on Merseyside for carefully monitored rehabilitation work. The patience appears to be paying dividends. Danns has returned to action, featuring in a friendly match against Athletic Bilbao at Anfield. and his recent performances for Liverpool's under-21 team tell a compelling story of resilience. In just 4 appearances this season, he's already contributed 4 goals and assists combined, scoring twice and creating another goal for teammates. Even England's youth setup has taken notice. Dan's earned his debut for England under-20s, where he not only scored in a 2-1 defeat against Italy, but also wore the captain's armband, a clear indication of his leadership qualities and the respect he commands among peers. But here's where it gets controversial. UEFA's Youth League regulations create an interesting dilemma that most fans don't understand. Despite being above the typical age limit, Dan's remains eligible to play for Liverpool's under-19 team in their Youth League fixture against Atletico Madrid's youngsters. UEFA rules allow up to 5 players born on or after the 1st of January 2006 to be included in the 40-player squad list. This creates a strategic puzzle for Slot. Should Dan's play in the Youth League match to build match fitness, or should he be held back for potential senior team involvement? Trey Nyoni presents another intriguing option in this selection puzzle. The talented midfielder has been training with the first team throughout pre-season, demonstrating his potential to bridge the gap between youth and senior football. However, since he's still eligible for under-19 competition, he could also feature in the Youth League to gain valuable playing time. Third-choice goalkeeper Freddie Woodman might also benefit from the expanded bench allowance, providing additional backup support behind first-choice Alisson Becker and new signing Georgi Mamardashvili. The absence of Federico Chiesa from Liverpool's Champions League squad list adds another layer of complexity to team selection. The Italian winger's surprising omission from the league phase squad means one fewer senior attacking option, potentially opening doors for younger players to step up. What makes this situation fascinating is how it highlights the stark differences between domestic and European competition squad management. While Premier League matches force managers to make tough decisions about which players to exclude, Champions League fixtures offer more flexibility to reward form, manage fitness, and provide opportunities for squad development. But here's the question that's dividing Liverpool fans. Is bringing back injury-prone players like Dan's and easing Isaac into action the smart, patient approach that builds long-term success? Or is it overly cautious management that could cost valuable points in crucial matches? The reality is that Liverpool's approach reflects the modern game's evolution towards sports science and data-driven decision-making. Gone are the days when players would simply run off injuries or play through pain barriers that could cause permanent damage. Yet some supporters argue that football's traditional sink-or-swim mentality produced tougher, more resilient players who could handle pressure situations better than today's carefully managed athletes. What's your take on Liverpool's careful player management strategy? Do you think Slot is being too cautious with valuable assets like Isak and Dan's? Or is this the smart approach that will pay dividends throughout a demanding season? Should clubs prioritize immediate results or long-term player development when making these crucial squad decisions? Share your thoughts, and let's see if we can settle this debate once and for all.